Okay, welcome to another shop talk. Today I'm going to start explaining the new custom extraction ducting that I had made. And I thought it was definitely worth sharing it for you because it's a bit of a minefield. I did a lot of searching. We're in the UK here. I did a lot of searching and man, price-wise and services, they really vary. I found a brilliant company called Duct Express and that's what I went with. And I'm going to show you what they did for me custom. And I'll put some links in the description obviously to them, so they're really helpful if you've got custom needs or if you just got some clip ducting or spiral ducting you're after. I'm going to be using them from now on. So let's have a look in here. So these are the two 7.5 kilowatt fans that came with the planing sander, I should say. I'll put a picture on the screen as well. It used to have these two on the front, 4 ports on each. There's actually 9 on the machine, but only 8 of them's connected. So that's what was on the front of the fan. I sent a drawing of the diameter here. It's just over 380 that was. So to replace those 4 ports, I had this made, which is like a sort of manifold. It goes down to the cone and then it joins the 300mm clip pipe. These are the clips here. I'll show you some clips in action in a minute. That then goes up into the roof. Now these are actually moving. This is how airtight it is. These are moving because of the breeze in the workshop. So sometimes someone slams the door, that puffs up. I've not quite finished the installation in terms of hanging these. There they go. In terms of hanging these off springs off the roof. The roof's a little bit low, but it's okay. So what we got here is we go into a series of bends to get it up to the ceiling and to save as much space as possible in this little room. So these two fans, an extraction system, is dedicated to the planing sander, which is a 1300mm wide planing sander. There will be a video on it. I still haven't really got around to setting it up properly. I've been using it a lot, but once I get my head around it, then I'll do a video. But anyway, these are dedicated to that. I made the decision I was going to go for one big extraction system, but you're constantly emptying the bags on big planers like that. Also, there's that cross-contamination I mentioned if you're putting tabletops through, and there's a lot of resin coming off. And if you were making legs, wooden legs for tables or bases for the same time, the felder unit would be handling the wood, which means we're not getting contamination, and we can still go back and use the amazing briquette press, which I did a video on, and there's more coming on that. So I decided to stick with a separate system and build this little room. These were kind of included, bundled if you like, with the second-hand unit that I bought, the planer. So I thought, why not use it? They're both 7.5 kilowatts, like I said, which is quite powerful. I just needed to get rid of this off the front with the crazy pipework that took up half the workshop, and the noise and the dust obviously coming out of these. I didn't want any dust in my workshop. I wanted them situated out here in the yard next to the briquette press, so it's all pretty straightforward and keeps things clean. Now I didn't know quite how to go from a 4-port, or 2 4-ports, which is 8 in total, 150mm. I didn't know how to do that. I'm no expert on ducting, so I tried quite a few different things and people visiting from extraction companies, and I had a massive variation in cost and how it was going to be done. We decided to DIY it and fit it ourselves. You'll see in the video. Now, I do not like drilling concrete and I do not like working with steel. I just like working with wood. Obviously, we can all do it. So I didn't really look forward to the process. It wasn't that painful, but putting up brackets on concrete walls and stuff is a bit of a pain. So I am in the middle of a new table. I'm really excited about that. The cabinet's over there and the extraction's just arrived. I'm not in the workshop tomorrow, so we're going to go for it. Got all this stuff, 300mm duct. It's going to put up some unistrut. Already had the holes cut, luckily, through the building. So that's next. And then this boy should be running remotely and we won't have all this excess sawdust when we keep emptying it. So let's see how we get on. Not really looking forward to this, but there you go. So these go onto the unistrut, then there's a plate, nut. So we've got 2 pipes here, ducts, 300, and they'll go up like that. Last one there, then through the hole in the wall. Okay, this is amazing. kind of entering the next phase of the workshop. Bit of a mess, but it's Sunday. I'm going to tidy this up, get these things out. We've managed to install, not easy as you can imagine. This is the duct just for the sander. There is going to be new duct. I keep getting asked about it. I got a new extractor. I got the new Felder FD200, which is amazing, but obviously the pipe runs, everything's changed now, and so that's all going to be done next, but can only manage one thing at a time. So these ducts have gone in. We haven't quite got enough connectors. We've got 9 ports on the top, 2 300s. They're going to go outside. There's a new room for those. I'm going to open that today. It's not quite finished in there, but as you can see, we're in a bit of a mess in terms of where we can work. The new cabinet with glass to be fitted is under that cloth there. This is the next table, which I'm really excited about, English walnut. Got quite a twist in it, so this is going to be a killer project. It's going to be a resin build, all sorts going on under there to keep the thickness. So today's mission is really opening that up again, getting the extraction around the back, deciding whether to forklift it or whatever in position so that I can measure up for the final connection of the pipe. So I had the builders knock through the 400, well it's 2 300 pipes. So there was like a 300 plus 20mm gap all round, so 320 that way, 640 that way. We had those pipes knocked through. It comes through up the top, straight down out the main building, straight down into here. Now I was also advised not to use any flexible connections. Obviously just out of the top of the sander into the little rockets, which I'll show you, they were custom made as well. There has to be a flexible fitting. But I was going to go flexible from the 300, big 300 flexible into the socket here on the front of the machine, into the manifold, sorry. But I was advised by Graham at Ducting Express that is a really bad performance drop using that plastic or corrugated flex right at the end, which is interesting because Felder RL200 is not set up properly yet. It's a 200mm here. I've put a temporary reducer on to my 125 existing. That's all going to be redone. Ducting Express is going to help me sort the system out. Now Felder recommend a small amount of flexible. I don't know if they say it's for vibration, but I've been told that is a really bad performance move. So when I do the video on this thing, you're going to see this comes out solid with some fixings, all in the clip ducting from Ducting Express. So saying that, we don't want any flexible fittings between here and the main duct. So you can buy a series like we have over here of 30s, 60s, 45s, in combination, twist them around for your awkward bit. When it gets into the shop, you're using this clip duct. Now I'll get a clip and I'll show you. So this is the Ducting Express clip system. It has this kind of rubber, really stiff, solid rubber liner seal, and then just clips together. And I will show you that on the pipe now as I clip it on. If I show you inside this pipe, you can see in here that it's flush. There's no things for the sawdust or the airflow to be interrupted, which is why I liked it. It's also a really structural joint. That is absolutely solid. It does need support because obviously there's a lot of material going in it. If you've got a blockage, it's going to be pretty heavy, but it clips together and is rigid, as you see going right up here through the roof. I'll show you an image of the turn. Just sits there, does its 90-degree turn into the building, absolutely rigid. So this is the system for the spiral duct with the rubber band, and it's like, it is still good. Push it in, sometimes you can put tape on it. Now obviously, that piece there is an internal ridge, so the airflow is going to hit that. Okay, so now let's go into the shop and I'll show you how this all terminates and connects to the planing sander with these 2 custom rockets that were made for me. Okay, so we haven't sealed it up yet, it's not quite finished, but it goes through the wall outside, through where the compressor is, comes along here on all this unitrack, and then comes round there, and I'll jump up and show you. So we've got the first set of 4 pipes, which is all from the planer. They go into one fan, and that goes down that 300 duct. And then the second set which is 2 from each of the sander and 1 from the brush on the rear. That goes into the 5-port and into the second 7.5 kilowatt fans. So one of the main problems I had was working out how to go from these 8 ports, kind of all dropping down, one was blanked off on the top, into another room, and a couple of options were suggested, like a 450 pipe. There was all sorts of duct driver, there's all sorts of ways that were suggested to me. But it come down to Ducting Express and their experience, and I thought, well, it sounds right. If you put both of those fans into a Y, then if one fan is running a bit slower or gets blocked, it's going to suck from the other, and it isn't going to suck all the way back down. So as much as I didn't want to install 2 sets of ducting just for this machine, not only for cost, but just the space, it did make sense. And it now, in fact, sometimes I use this machine with only the planer on, certainly for the early stages of flattening off slabs and stuff. I don't run the sandpaper at all. And now, I haven't set it up yet, but now I will be able to just switch on one of the 7.5 kilowatt fans, which is this first one. And again, if I was just sanding, I could just switch on the second one. So that works really well, and the suggestion of the 2 ducts has actually worked out perfectly. So I'm really pleased with the advice I got. Now the next stage in this shop is going to be replacing all of the 125 pipe. That's been terminated there. Now at the moment it runs down the middle of the shop, as you can see, and then it turns and drops down. Not sure if that's staying there, but whatever. This is definitely staying here. And at the moment it goes all the way around the shop and then down here to here. So it's obviously not an efficient run. Plus it's 125 pipe, which should be 200. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as we get done, we're going to remove this centerpiece, which will be nice, and we're going to come out of there with a Y, or kind of a bent, a 2-swept 90, and that's going to go round and serve that side of the shop, and then round with a big 45 here, and then serve this, the saw. So we should get massive increase, plus we're not using 125 pipe, we're using 200, and then depending where the planer's going, it's going to be probably coming off of the end here, so whatever. Spindle moulder's quite a beast, so it probably will end up there because it's going to get a branch off immediately. So that's the next stage. That'll probably be in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Again, I'm going to be using Ducting Express because they're just so easy to work with. So I'll just show you a bit of this beast in action. With these ducts running, you can see all the sawdust, and actually sawdust isn't a problem, but you can see the resin flying up there. As I've said before, the resin has a lot of kind of static build-up, so you do get a lot of it in the pipe and that, and then you need to flush that through with some fresh sawdust before you start making briquettes, obviously. But I'm really happy with how it's gone. I can't wait to get going on the 200mm, finally get this part of the shop completely finished. So I hope you found some of that useful. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell if you did, because it does really help. I thought I'd do this video. It's not a sponsored video. I did this video because it was a minefield when I was looking, and I thought, man, it'd be so helpful to put it on the channel. You'll see what I've done, you see where I bought it, and you can just go on there. Now, it's not worth asking in the comments what I paid for all of this. You may as well just use the link, go on their website. There's actually a button for all of the 300, 200 ducts. Everything can be done. Put it in your basket, and then you can see what it will cost for you. I can't actually remember all this cost. I bought it over 3 installations because I wasn't sure what I needed. But their website's super simple, so just go on there, Ducting Express, type in what you need, and it'll all be done. Thanks a lot. Until the next one, I'll see you very soon. Bye.